So guys, in December, I received 11 different payments from some of my favorite dividend stocks and ETFs. We're talking Visa, Snap-on, and the holy grail of dividend ETFs, SCHD. And in this video, we're gonna go through each of those payments and add them all up to reveal my dividend income for the month, as well as my total income received to close out the year here in 2024. But before we get to those, I wanna hear from you. Leave me a comment below and let me know what were some of your highest dividend payments this month and which stocks did they come from. I'd be curious to hear if we have any of the same ones. Anyway guys, getting into my dividend payments for the month, the first one that I received came from none other than Visa, who paid me $14.01, which was a great way to kick off the month of December. And if we take a quick look at my Visa position, this has officially become the largest individual stock position in my portfolio, which was my goal the entire time with this bad boy, and it just recently surpassed Starbucks. Starbucks has seen a pretty decent pullback these last couple of weeks, so that paved the way for Visa to come into the #1 spot as far as individual stocks go. But anyway, as we can see here, I currently have 23.74 shares of Visa at an average cost of $269.36, which is not too shabby considering the current share price is about $315, almost $316. And this is going to leave me up 17.2%, so we are sitting pretty with Visa. And by the way, guys, what we were just looking at was from Snowball Analytics, which is actually the sponsor of today's video. This is a really cool portfolio tracker that I think you will like a lot, and I want to tell you a little bit more about it. One of the most essential tools for any investor is a solid portfolio tracker, and Snowball Analytics is like the Swiss Army knife of portfolio trackers. I've been using this platform pretty religiously to track my own portfolio for a while now, and I'm extremely impressed by just how much insight it provides into my portfolio. As you can see, the layout is very clean and intuitive, and I found the platform pretty easy to navigate. Plus, it's packed with more charts and graphs than you can count, which speaks to just how much insight it offers, not only into your portfolio, but also at the individual stock level as well. I mean, pretty much anything you want to know about a company's financials or dividend history can be found here within Snowball Analytics. Now, in my opinion, what really sets Snowball Analytics apart are the features that it has designed specifically for dividend investors. I'm actually convinced this platform was made for us, and here are a few of my favorite features. First off, Snowball tells you your total returns by default throughout the platform, which may sound like a small thing, but it's crucial for dividend investors because it doesn't neglect the dividend income we receive when calculating returns. Most other portfolio trackers will only show share price returns, which is only half of the equation, so it's refreshing to see dividends factored into these calculations. Additionally, Snowball also has a pretty robust event calendar that keeps you updated with upcoming news, events, and dividend payments, and they even have a dedicated dividend calendar so you can see who's paying you each month, when they're paying, and how much they're paying. Later on in the video, we'll actually use Snowball's dividend calendar to take a look at my upcoming dividend payments for this next month, so stay tuned for that. And then another favorite feature of mine is Snowball's backtest tool, which lets you see how your portfolio stacks up against the S&P or any other benchmark across multiple time periods. And once again, dividends are included in the calculations, which is awesome. And beyond these tools, Snowball also offers a community feature where you can check out other users' public portfolios to see what others are investing in, which is always a fun thing to look at. Plus, they have stats for stocks and ETFs that show what's trending and what's popular among other investors. This makes Snowball not just a killer portfolio tracker, but also a great place for dividend investors to get new investing ideas. So overall, if you're looking for a great portfolio tracker, which is something that every investor needs, then I highly recommend you check out Snowball Analytics, which you can actually do for free. All you need to do is click the link in the description of the video or in the pinned comment, or just scan this QR code right here to get a free 14-day trial. And if you like it, right now you can save 30% on your subscription with their New Year's sale, which is running until January 5th, so time is definitely of the essence. I've personally really enjoyed using Snowball Analytics, and I know you will too, so definitely take advantage of that New Year's sale and save 30% on your subscription. But anyway, guys, getting back to it and moving on to the second dividend payment I received in December. This one came from Snap-on, one of my favorite dividend growth stocks, and Snap-on paid me $19.21 for the month, bringing our total so far in December to $33.22. And Snap-on had a pretty cruddy month, guys. If we take a look at the share price performance over here on Snapstock, we can see that just in the last 30 days, Snap-on is down 6.7%. So like I said, a pretty respectable drop, but if we zoom out looking at the year-to-date performance, things are still looking pretty good for Snap-on. Here in 2024, they're still up almost 25%. And jumping back over to Snowball, taking a look at my Snap-on position, I have just under 9 shares at an average cost of $211.04. And the current share price, even with the recent pullback, is still quite a bit above above my average cost per share, which is going to leave me in really great shape with Snap-on. I'm up about 62.5% just in terms of share price, and about 71% including dividends on a total return basis. And with that, guys, moving on to dividend payment number 3, this one came from Johnson & Johnson, who paid me $45.20 in December, a really solid dividend payment. And this is going to bring my total so far to $78.42. And Johnson & Johnson, like Snap-on, was down quite a bit this month. If we take a look at the share price performance, just in the last 30 days, J&J is down 6.8%. So a pretty big drop for these guys. And if we zoom out looking at the year-to-date performance, unlike Snap-on, J&J is still in the red here in 2024. They're down 7.66%. So a pretty big drop here for the year. And with that, taking a quick look at my position, I currently have 36.72 shares of J&J, and I just recently started buying into this position again. As we can see, I picked up a little tranche here. Actually, right before I started recording this, I made this purchase. And just because of where Johnson & Johnson's current share price is in relation to my average cost per share, or to my cost basis, I'm going to continue dollar cost averaging into J&J, at least for the foreseeable future. It's looking really good right now. But anyway, guys, moving on to payment number 4. This one came from Chevron, who also delivered a pretty delicious dividend here in December for $32.22, officially bringing us across the $100 mark for the month to $110.64. And Chevron had the worst month out of the bunch so far, guys. If we look at the share price performance, just in the last 30 days, Chevron is down 12.25%, so a very big drop. If we zoom out looking at the year-to-date performance, this is officially going to put them in the red. They are down 2.4% here in 2024. And as far as my position goes, this is not a big one for me. I'd say Chevron is pretty middle of the road. I have 19, almost 20 shares of Chevron at an average cost of $112.87. So with the current share price just above $142 per share, this is going to leave me up 26%, just looking at the share price, and closer to 30% on a total return basis. But anyway, guys, moving on, this brings us to payments number 5 and 6, both of which came from Main Street Capital Corporation. Main Street paid their monthly dividend, which for me was $13.79, and they also paid a quarterly special dividend, which for me was $16.88. And I actually haven't received the special dividend yet. It should be paid out tomorrow. I'm releasing this video on the 26th, so that dividend will be paid on the 27th. But anyway, this brings my total for the month between these two payments to $141.31. And unlike the last few stocks, Main Street was actually up this month. If we look at the share price performance in the last 30 days, Main Street is up 3.1%. And if we zoom out looking at the year to date, Main Street's had a killer 2024. This stock is up 40.5%, and that's not even including dividends. And with that, if we take a look at my Main Street position, I have 56.25 shares at an average cost of $40.66. So right now, the current share price is $56.23, pretty much at all-time highs. This is going to leave me up 38.3% looking at the share price returns, and 55.25% including dividends. So the dividends with this position definitely give me a nice boost. And with that, jumping over to payment number 7, this one came from the other monthly paying dividend stock in my portfolio. This was Realty Income, who paid $26.39 for the month, bringing my total so far to $167.70. And this last month was not a good month at all for Realty Income. Realty Income's down over 8% just in the last 30 days. And if we zoom out looking at the year-to-date performance, Realty Income is also still in the red, down almost 5% in 2024. And like with Johnson & Johnson earlier, I also just started buying Realty Income again. Actually, right before I started recording this video, I was able to pick up one more share of Realty Income. Nothing crazy today, but I'll continue to dollar cost average into this position as the weeks go on. And now taking a look at my full Realty Income position, I have 101.14 shares of the monthly dividend company. It's been a while since I've added any shares, so I'm glad to be back in the saddle with this one. And my average cost is not too bad either, $54.43, which is not too far above the current share price of just under $53 per share. So in terms of share price, I'm down about 3%. Prime time to average down just a little bit, but on a total return basis, including dividends, I'm still in the green here. And with that, guys, now jumping over to payment number 8. This one was actually another special dividend that I received. This one was from Blue Owl Capital Corporation for $5.82. I will take it. And this is going to bring my total so far for the month to $173.52. And as we can see here, Blue Owl Capital Corporation is my second smallest position in the portfolio. I only have 116 shares at an average cost of $13.49, so it's it's not an expensive stock at all. Definitely easy to rack up the shares here. So don't let the number of shares fool you. This is one of my smallest positions. But anyway, I'm still sitting pretty. The current share price is $15.22. So this is going to leave me up almost 13% just in terms of share price, and more like 31.4% on a total return basis. And with that, guys, this is going to bring us to payment number 9, which came from Clear Secure, the most recent addition to my portfolio. And this is actually my first dividend payment received from this company. So for December, I brought in $11.63 from Clear, bringing the total so far to $185.15. And I continued to load the boat on Clear Secure here in December. If we look at all my tranches here for the month, I think in total, this is maybe 22, 23 shares added just this month. But that's going to be it for me for a while, guys. I hit my target number of shares with Clear Secure, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. And now with stocks like Realty Income and Johnson & Johnson and Vici Properties coming down to a point where I'd like to start buying them again, I'm going to switch gears, and instead of contributing more to Clear Secure, I'm going to jump over and start adding to those 3 stocks that I just referenced. And looking at my full Clear position, my goal was to get to 100 shares of this company. So we hit that, went a little bit over. I'm sitting with 104 shares at an average cost of $29.70. Not too bad. The current share price is still a few dollars below my cost basis, which is going to leave me down about 10%. Definitely nothing I can't recover from, but I'll be interested to see where the share price goes from here. Either way, I'm holding strong with these 104 shares and looking forward to seeing what this position does. But anyway, guys, those were all of the dividend payments that I received from the companies in my taxable brokerage account. But with that, there were still a couple more dividend payments that I received over in my Roth IRA. The first of which came from the holy grail of dividend ETFs. We're talking SCHD, who delivered my largest dividend payment ever. Guys, to date, $82.78. That is my largest, and that's going to bring our total so far for the month to $267.93. And looking at my position, as we can see, SCHD is overall the largest position in my portfolio, which is no surprise. This was inevitable considering I dollar cost average into this ETF every single week. And as of now, I have 325.3 shares at an average cost of $25.69. But anyway, then the last dividend payment I received came from the other ETF in my Roth IRA, VOO, who paid me $19 for the month. And if we take a quick look at my VOO position here, my VOO position, I have almost 11 shares at an average cost of $438.76. And like SCHD, I dollar cost average into this one every single week. And I would imagine, guys, by this time next year, just from continuing to do that, dollar cost averaging into it every week, I think this will end up being my second largest position overall. But anyway, with that final VOO payment, guys, that's going to bring my total dividend income for the month to $286.93. So a really solid month of income, and this is a huge 45.33% increase compared to my dividend income received this time last year. In December of 2023, I brought in $197.43, so a huge jump year over year. And then with that, guys, to close out 2024, my annual dividend income in total for the year came out to $2,820.09, which was a 26.17% increase compared to my dividend income in 2023, which was $2,235.17. So once again, another very big jump. And in a nutshell, guys, that's what happens when you just stay consistent and stay disciplined and just keep investing. No matter what the share prices are doing, just keep investing and reinvesting your dividends to buy more shares of these stocks and ETFs. You will see increases in your passive income every single year. And even though dividend investing is not the fastest way to build wealth, even though you won't always see explosive growth in your portfolio, it is one of those things that truly does get better the longer that you do it. And that's one of the many reasons that I love this style of investing and probably always will. But anyway, guys, just to recap all of these dividend payments and looking at the year over year gains with some of these compared to this time last year, we can see that there were quite a few positions that saw some really big year over year jumps compared to 2023, like Johnson & Johnson, for example, Chevron, Main Street Capital Corporation, Realty Income, SCHD, of course, and even VOO all saw very big year over year gains. And there was one that actually saw a decrease in the year over year payment, and that was Blue Owl Capital Corporation. But once again, these were special dividends. So really what this means and what this shows here is that the special dividend this year is just lower than the special dividend from last year. It's really nothing to be concerned about. And then, guys, as a brief recap for 2024 as a whole, here are a few what I think are fun facts about my portfolio from this year. First and foremost, my biggest dividend payment in 2024, we actually mentioned this earlier in the video, that one was from SCHD. SCHD. And this is my largest dividend payment of all time. Once again, $82.78 paid this month. And then my second fun fact here, this is the stock that paid me the most in 2024. This one was Realty Income. And just this year, Realty Income almost paid me $300 in dividends. We were pretty close. We'll definitely be there next year, $298.15. And then with that, my best month of income this year and my best month of dividend income all time was back in July, where I received $305.61 for the month. My first time ever reaching over $300 in dividends in an entire month. And hopefully we'll see more of that in 2025. But anyway, guys, that's what went down in 2024. Overall, it was a very good year. And with that, now I want to switch gears and show you which companies are going to be paying me here in this upcoming month in January to kick off 2025. And to do this, guys, we are back over here looking at the dividend calendar tool on Snowball Analytics, which once again, there's a link to in the description and in the pinned comment of the video. And if we scroll down, these are all of the dividend payments that I can expect to receive in January coming up, with the first handful of them here being really solid dividend payments. We've got $41.58 coming in from KRC to kick off the month. We've got Vici Properties a little bit higher, $45.90 in January. We've got Altria paying a whopping $57.29. That'll be really nice. And we've got Blue Owl with their regular quarterly dividend for $43.07. That'll be pretty fantastic. And then it looks like the rest of these dividend payments are all coming on the 15th, like Blue Owl here. We have WP Carey for $33.34, Realty Income for $26.70. That'll be a really nice payment. And then we've got Main Street Capital Corporation for $14.07 for the monthly dividend. So the 15th is going to be a really killer day of dividends, and it looks like we'll hit over $100 just for the day, which is going to be sweet. But anyway, guys, this brings the total dividend income expected for the month to $261.96. Not a bad way to kick off the year. So January is shaping up to be another very solid month of income. Definitely looking forward to it. And with that, if you're in the market for some cheap dividend stocks, then check out this next video right over here, where I'm telling you about 3 of them that I personally am buying right now. We kind of talked about it a bit in this video, but in this next one right over here, I'm going a bit deeper on those 3 stocks. So click right over here to check that out, and I'll see you in the next one.